This is Robbie with Believe in the Run, and this is the Coros VERTIX. So the Coros VERTIX is, like I said, a GPS adventure watch. And what that means is it's meant for crazy adventures. Mountaineering, extreme ultra running, diving to deep depths. This thing goes 150 meters. If you're diving to that, well, you're dead. It actually has 60 hours of full GPS battery life, which is crazy. If you know anything about GPS watches, you know that one of the biggest things that you look for in them is that GPS battery life. That's every second pinging the watch full GPS. Now it also lasts for just 45 days on regular usage if you don't use GPS at all. And that claim holds up. So I actually used this for about 3 weeks off a full charge, and that included about 120 miles of running, which was like 24 hours of activity time. After those 3 weeks, it had 18% battery life left, which is ridiculous. Now, the sister watch to this is the Kouros Apex, which isn't as heavy duty and is a lot cheaper. And that actually has 32 hours of battery life, which I had been using for a really long time before this watch, the last 6 months actually. And I love the Apex, it was really great. The battery life was solid. And this is like 3-4 steps above that. I guess it's double that, but anyways. Another testament to the battery life, I used this during a 50-mile race. And after that 50 miles, where I came in just under 12 hours, it actually had 80% battery life left. So that is completely accurate. 20% of the battery life for 12 hours of running stands up to the claims. The watch is pretty heavy duty. It has a titanium case with silicone straps that lock into it, which you'll see in a little bit. Now, because of that heavy duty aspect to it and the battery life, it does come in at a high price point. It's gonna run you $599 for the base model, and that comes in 3 different colors. And then there's another model that's a step above that that comes in at $699. And that's an ice blue, like bezel, with a transparent fiber case behind it. It's pretty cool looking. I don't know if it's worth the extra $100. So let's get into more of the functionality of the watch. The VERTIX comes in this heavy duty rugged box, which is kind of insane, but it's kind of cool at the same time. You have your power cord in here, and then a quick start user guide. So the straps click in back here. They lock in really nice and secure. It just takes a little bit of maneuvering to get them on there, but they're not going anywhere once they're on. And one thing I really liked about these silicone bands is that on the end here, this loop stays really nice and secure because of these 2 nubs. You also have the second loop that has a nub on the inside so that when the watch is buckled in, this tucks in here nicely and doesn't move. Now on the back you have a bunch of your sensors here, including your blood oxygen sensor, your heart rate monitor. Then in here is your charging port. It actually has 3 prongs as opposed to 4 prongs, which the Garmin Fenix 5 has. The case on the VERTIX is pretty large. It comes in at 48.75 millimeters across, and then the depth of it is 16.75 millimeters. Now, this watch has a 60-hour battery life, so it's gonna be a little bit bigger than most watches. But overall, I didn't find it to be that bulky, and the weight on it is actually 75 grams, which is 10 grams lighter than the Garmin Fenix. The controls on the VERTIX are very intuitive. There's actually only 3 buttons: the light, the crown knob dial that also pushes in, and then a back button right here. Top here we have the light button, and that's nice because the background of this watch is actually pretty dark, and overall the watch is pretty dim. I kind of wish that's something that they would have improved upon, which was also an issue I had with the Apex before this. The next button is the crown dial, and this actually serves as an unlock for the watch, which is one of my favorite things. So with the crown dial, if you just move it up kind of fast, it unlocks the watch. And then you can also cycle through your screens. We have altitude, blood oxygen monitoring, heart rate, temperature, and so on. And text messages, like my wife texting me. Your third button down here, which is a back button that, if held in, will take you to your settings screen. Now, one of the first settings we have here is the altitude performance, which I can't actually use because this is meant for mountaineers who are over 8,250 feet. And this is blood oxygen monitoring, so it actually monitors your blood oxygen levels 24/7. So even if you're sleeping in your tent at night and you want to know that your blood oxygen levels are good, it'll monitor that throughout the night. We also have a stopwatch, a timer, timer, watch face. If you go into the watch face, you can see there's preloaded watch faces on here that you can change from the Kouros app. If you click on one of them, you can change through the colors. Select whichever color you want. We also have the system settings, which has a workout interface, so you can choose between the background color of white or black. You can also select auto scroll for your activity screens. You can also pair your phone or Ant Plus devices, or you can calibrate your elevation or the compass. Going back to the home screen, if we were to start an activity, you would press the crown dial button in. There's the system settings that'll also take you back to the system screen, where it's any number of activities from run, indoor run, trail run, mountain climbing, hiking, biking, indoor biking, full swim, open water, and triathlon. Triathlon one is nice because you can switch between all the triathlon activities pretty seamlessly. For now, we're just gonna do the run. So if we go into run and we go to the start screen, we have the start, interval training, aerobic training, and anaerobic training. And we also have settings. So in the settings, there's navigation settings, which will take you to preloaded maps. So you can download a run from Strava and load it into your watch. So if you wanted to do a run that you previously did that you might not remember the route, you can go into navigation settings and you'll see preloaded runs in there. If I were to do just a normal run, I would just click run, have my start screen. Now it's waiting for the GPS and the heart rate reading, but the GPS always connects pretty quickly, usually under like 20 seconds, but I'm gonna start it anyways. So we start, you can see I have my screens here, which I can scroll between using the crown dial knob. If you wanna do a lap, you can press the lap button here, but I'm just gonna pause it, and it will give me my resume or finish options. So when I finish, it gives me the option to delete the workout if it's under 1 minute, which is great because this thing syncs to Strava so quickly that it's annoying having those 0.01 mile runs up there in case you make a mistake. So I'm gonna delete the data. And that's basically everything I use this watch for. Now, since this is a running review, I'm only focusing on the running aspects of this watch. It's a great looking watch. I loved wearing it around, and I loved using it for 3 weeks while I was testing it during all my runs. So that's the Coros VERTX GPS Adventure Watch. Like I said, some of the things I loved about it were the extreme battery life. The comfort of it was really nice with the silicone straps. I didn't find it to be that bulky. The syncing capabilities of this watch are awesome. Through their app, which is very intuitive and easy to use, you can sync right up to it. It goes to Strava within 10 seconds. All your workouts are right there. So I really like that about this as well. Now this is gonna be for extreme ultra runners. I don't really see the value there if you're just an everyday runner, unless you just want a really cool looking watch and you have a lot of money to spend, then that's something you might wanna go for. If you're looking to save a little bit of money but still get a high quality watch from it, I would probably go with the Coros Apex, which comes in at $299. It still offers that 32-hour battery life. On some of my runs, it was just off a little bit. And I think that's gonna be fixed with some future firmware updates, because I know both the Apex and the Coros VERTX use the same Sony chipset, so they're really almost the same technologies. I just think there's something a little bit off about this watch right now, but I think that's gonna be fixed with some future firmware updates. I know Kouros has always been really good about that in the past, especially with the Apex. So if you like that review and you want to see more gear reviews or shoe reviews, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and like us on Facebook. All right, ready? Should I keep going? So I can't say it. Cut that whole part out. There's no point in having it.